And we're live. And I see that
Yay!
Martha is here and a life learner, Anna, is it Sosa? Anna Sosa is here.
Hola, Anna.
So, hi. Back for another
Anna,
episode.
wonderful. Anna, I had a valiant incident with a mosquito this morning. I'm going to talk to you about her later, okay? She's having mosquito issues, and I want to tell you, I had one this morning, and I couldn't stop laughing because I thought of you. I'm like, I'm going to
Yeah.
kill it.
And Cecilia just popped in and I just kicked my
What up,
laptop.
C?
All right. Hi, Cecilia.
Welcome,
And
welcome, welcome.
Valerie, or Valori. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So if you were here last week, you were here for I'm going to say the pilot episode, right? Of Talk with Gina and MJ. And it was amazing. And
Yeah!
I did post the link from last week. It is there in the chat if you guys were not here last week and you want to go back and watch the replay, because there are going to be a couple things, a couple of the ingredients that we may repeat from last week, and we don't want to spend a whole lot of time going over the same information. So that's why I tagged that particular episode from last week into this one, so you can go back and watch that. And even if nothing else, go back and just watch it for the last. We just had a good time. It was a really good time. So I want to say thank you to MJ again for accepting the invitation to do this with me, because we had a lot of fun. So we realized, and to be honest, I actually got, and I've seen a few comments that this connection, or this I'm going to say union, for lack of a better word, that we have going on here, it's really working. Because I know that I'm not, there's one thing about sitting down and listening to me talk about all of these benefits of these herbs, and it can get kind of boring, right? I know that. And I tend to be very kind of spoken for the most part. And I know that you don't really want to sit down and just listen to all of these physical or medicinal benefits of these herbs. And having done Soul Shift of the very first year that came out, I did that with MJ as well. I started to look at herbs and spices in a whole different way. So that's why one of the reasons why I asked MJ to come on, because she was a tea talk as well. And I thought this would be a really good blend of the spiritual aspect of herbs in addition to the physical. So that's why we decided to merge forces. And I'm glad that so many of you are enjoying that, because we've been looking at all of the feedback and it seems to be working. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. MJ is amazing. So
Thank you. So are
she's
you.
kind of the yin to my yang. If that makes
I'm the
that makes
cheerleader,
sense.
like,
We kind of,
rah, rah. I come in all
so,
fire, like, rah, I'm here, guys, let's go.
and I'm kind of, as somebody so nicely put it last week, I'm kind of the grounded one of the team. So we kind of balance each other out. So I'm hoping
You
that
need
you're
that.
enjoying this,
You
you know.
need that. For me,
All
I
right,
had
so
Cecilia too. Cecilia is in the group. She's here. She's
yes.
my sister, my twinsy, and she's all water. So when I'm really fiery, like today, I was really fiery, and I was like, I can't take it. I called her, and she was like looking at me, and I'm like, it's her water calmed me down. It brought me down to a level. So it's really good to know. Have people, you should need that. If you're all fire and earth, get a water person in your life. They'll cry a lot, but they're the best thing they'll ever have. They'll give you that mushy feeling of love, and it'll bring you way down. And what does water do to fire? Sizzles
Right.
it. So you need some fire in your life and water. I'm the fire. You got
Yep.
me already.
And I've got
Yay!
Cecilia is on the team too. So, that's a really good blend of all of our elements, right? So, all right. So before we begin and jump into this second episode, we decided we'd go and we'd introduce ourselves and tell you a little bit about what we do, because each of us actually have businesses outside of this. And it's not just about Tea Talk. MJ, she runs a business herself, and I run a business myself, and have lots of different partners in addition to the business. So we kind of wanted to give you a feel of what we do other than just coming together and talking about tea and crystals and spiritual stuff. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just let MJ begin. Just tell us a little bit about your business so that, and where to find you, outside
Yes,
of
I
this.
got that. Ooh, you put me on the hot seat. Ooh, I love to sizzle. So, hi guys, I'm MJ. I am a totally amazing, magical person. I love myself completely, and I have no doubt in my gifts because I believe. Most important than anything, I believe, and I need to throw that out there. Spiritual chancla. I'm really good. I feel like I'm a pusher, a people pusher. I push people out of their comfort zone. Like I said, I'm on fire. So for me, I like to push people out of the way. And in doing that, I'm a woman in search of wisdom. And I found a lot of wisdom. So I am a past life regressionist. I took the QHHT level all the way up to 3. And I also took other courses to find the blend to make the most amazing course for you. So when you come for a session with me, you leave mind blown in all sense of the word. I really treat you good. And I've taken that this year to the next level because not only can you have a session with me, you can actually take training and learn to become a past life regressionist with me. It is the most amazing course that you can take. Guess what, Ma? I'm a teacher. Can you hear me, Ma? I did it. My mom was a teacher, so I'm really glad that I'm a teacher, Mom. I never thought. She was a kindergarten teacher for 30 something years. I love you, Mom. She was the best. So then I am also a Reiki master and teacher. I had to put those two words together. All right. My sessions are amazing. I talk about crystals here. I add crystals to all my sessions, sound therapy, light language. You leave uniquely different and lighter. So those are most amazing session you can have. And I also teach Reiki. I teach all levels online and in person. So if you ever want to and need Reiki, I think everyone should be able to use their hands to heal. It is amazing. Imagine just putting in, just healing yourself, healing your children, healing your animals. You can do it. And the power is right here. And that for me is Reiki. I believe it with my whole heart. And finally, I am a medium. I am an oracle. I am a channel. I am I am the one that they talked about, that they scared you about, but I am nothing to fear. All right. I do not let spirits enter me, but I do allow them to whisper in my ear. I have learned with many teachers how to protect myself spiritually on the realm, this realm, and in all realms. All right. So when I talk about magic and I know my magic, it's because I'm protected. So, yes, I do channel spirit. I can hear them, I can feel them, and I can see them. And I channel messages as needed. And I use this gift to help people get the messages that they need so they can move on with their life and they go on. All right. And then also this year, I've added magical mystery classes. My first class I taught was charm class. Gina missed it, but she's going to catch it. Charm casting. You make your own charms and you cast them on your own. It was the most amazing magical classes. So I'm putting myself out there. I'm also one of the co-owners of Lo Cuatro Ángulos de la Luna, the four corners of the moon, which is a magical group where we've put all in practice all the work that we've learned through the years. It is a hands-on course. To enter that group, you must be willing to work magic. I mean, really practice. Because I've been touching this crystal for 4 years now. But have I used it what it's really for? And that's what we do there is we work our magic. And that's basically what I'm all about. You can find me on Facebook at Love Notes from the Angels, where I post a daily post. I post a card every day of a message channeled from the angels. I've had that blog for years now. I also am on Instagram, Love Notes from the Angels, but it's love underscore notes underscore from underscore angels underscore. That's where you can find me. If you come by, say hello, take the daily message with you, and say hi. I love the support. Thank you. And that's who I am in a nutshell.
Amazing, amazing. And I have to follow all of that, right, MJ? All right,
You
so
do.
who am I? Well, my name is Gina Wells, and guessing you can see that, but I call myself a complementary therapist practitioner. And the reason I call myself that is because I'm like MJ. I have all of these little hats, all of these certifications in what I like to consider to be actual medicine, not alternative medicine. We kind of had got that stuff twisted around and considered Western medicine to be like traditional medicine, but it's not. Traditional medicine are things like Reiki and sound healing. Those are what I consider to be, actual medicine. But over the years, of course, things have gotten kind of turned around. So, but that's a whole other discussion, so I won't get into that. Anyway, like I said, I'm a complementary therapist practitioner. I'm a fellow with the Complementary Association. So on that particular website, if you just type in complementary therapist practitioner and you look up my name, you'll find my site under there. It tells you everything that I'm certified in. Last year I was just a regular member. This year I'm actually a fellow with them. And I think part of that is because I'm working on my doctorate in hypnotherapy, which should be completed by December 31st of this year. So I'm really excited about that. But just some of the certifications, I'm an art therapy life coach. I actually taught art and high school sculpture for many years in a private school. And shortly after I left there, I left because, and just a snippet of my, the background to that story. I ended up getting or being diagnosed with lupus. And while recovering and learning how to heal, I decided, you know what, with all of this research, I might as well get certified in some of these things, right? So in the process, I became a master herbalist. I became a regular herbalist first, just, the first rank. And then I decided to go on, study further, became a master herbalist. But since I taught art for so long, I went ahead and became an art therapy life coach as well. I'm also a sound healer coach. I'm a crystal Reiki practitioner, and it's very similar to what MJ mentioned about being a Reiki healer. I just add crystals on top of it. So I do the crystals in addition to Reiki, right? And I fully believe that Reiki works initially. And if I may throw this in there, I mentioned last week that I do consider myself to be a Christian, but I'm more spiritual than anything. And I've studied the Bible and when I was studying Reiki, if I may digress for a minute, when I was studying Reiki, I thought to myself, there's so many instances of Reiki in the Bible, yet the word Reiki tends to get such a bad connotation. So I'm just going to put it out there. Reiki works. I've utilized it on myself. I've utilized it on many other people. I even have a son who is a natural healer, which he discovered, I think he was in his teens, my oldest son, discovered in his teens, but it's never really worked to kind of solidify it. He's now on his way to doing that when he realized that this is a natural gift that he has. When I think someone had a headache and he went over to the person and he just instinctively put his hand on the person's head and told the headache to go away, and it left. And it completely blew me away. And this, at the time, I was actually studying Reiki, and here was a kid that I gave birth to that I didn't even know he had this gift. So I'm telling you this, that Reiki is a gift that you can develop, and like I discovered with my son, he's just you can just naturally have it as well. And I believe everybody does have the gift of Reiki. And here's why I'm saying that. If you, for example, say you bump your knee into a table, you instinctively take your hand and you just touch your knee and you kind of rub it, right? And then somehow it just seems to feel better. Or let's say your grandbaby falls down, skins up their knee, and says, "Oh, Patima or Grandma," I'm called Patima. It's the Indian word for Christ woman. So she says, "Patima, can you kiss it? Can you kiss it?" And when I do, she says, "Oh, that feels so much better." And I'm there thinking, this girl is just, she's just making me feel good. But I've learned that no, it really does make you feel better. Okay, that's that natural healing energy that each of us has. But I digress. Anyway, let's.
I
But
agree with
we're
you.
going to talk about stuff like that. So don't. I mean, this is we have candid talks on this show about other
Yes.
topics, not just tea. Okay,
Don't be
but you're gonna
afraid. Don't be afraid. Find you. There's research out there. I mean, this is my sign for you. I will keep putting it up. Don't be chicken. Go do the research. There's many books. Like Gina and I are both master teachers. We are here. We use different. It's the same skill. And the one thing with Reiki is we are not in competition with us. We believe everyone should get Reiki. I am not in competition with anyone. I want you to be a teacher. I want you to go heal, because the more people you heal, oh my goodness, that's what we want. That's what we're here for. So
exactly,
go
exactly.
get some Reiki if you don't have it.
Mhm. And just one more, I'll just throw out. Last year, actually year before, I was really curious. Over the last couple of years, I've done a little bit of belly dancing. So I got really intrigued with it. So last year, in the early part of last year, late 2020, I became a belly core
Oh my God.
certified
It's
instructor.
awesome.
Yes. So I'm by the end of this year, hope really working on it. I will be Dr. Gina Wells. So
Love
that
it.
is my
I love
ultimate
it.
goal. The name of my business, thank you. The name of my business is Sage and Timely Enterprises. Sage being the herb, and Timely actually part of the herb time with ly attached. And I several years ago when I was thinking about the name, those two just came together, and that's it. Sage and Timely Enterprises. So there are a lot of different things that I do under that umbrella, so to speak. You can find me on Facebook. I do my main page is Wells Complementary Therapist Practitioner. But I have several other pages where I showcase my artwork as well. You can find me on Instagram at Gina W Wells, and I'm also on Twitter. Or you can just send me an email because my email is like everywhere out there. Easy connect. All right. So that's a little bit about the two of us and a little bit about our backgrounds. But we are mainly here to talk about tea.
Tea time. Tea time.
And
I changed my cup
yes,
today.
my I decided to go Thomas Kincaid today.
Ooh,
And
I love Thomas Kincaid. Hold on, you're going to talk, but I have a piece of Thomas Kincaid that my brother gave to me that is
yeah.
magnificent. I have to show you. So go ahead. I'll be right back.
So today I'm in Central Florida. I woke up this morning, it was 39 degrees, so I guess that's why I picked this cup. It kind of epitomizes the the feel from this morning. It is now a whopping 61. I love that. Oh,
This
I
is his
love that.
pieces.
That's
This is Thomas,
gorgeous.
an amazing. My older brother Michael, my heart. He got me into art. And all the art that I love,
Oh
and all the art
wow.
you see hanging around me. So this is the Thomas Kincaid. It's my only piece, and this is how he introduced me to Thomas Kincaid. And it is
It's the
called
butter.
It is called The Hour of Prayer by Thomas Kincaid.
Oh wow. And it's the
Isn't that
butterfly,
amazing?
which is the symbol that first. So we show
Transformation.
the symbol
Yeah.
if there's
Yep.
anyone in the lupus community, the butterfly is also the symbol for lupus awareness. So
See, look
yeah.
at that. So that's amazing as well. So thank you.
Hmm.
I just tell you. So
Yeah.
thank you for mentioning that. So, you know,
Yeah.
that has
So guess
meaning.
what? Another thing we wanted to point out. I asked before we started, before we got on, I said, MJ, can you hear my little heater? Because I've got it running in the background. She says, no, can you hear my fan?
Because she's cold and I'm hot. I'm sweating over here. I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm having an
Right.
issue with a mosquito right now. And she's like, I'm freezing over here. So I'm like, this is funny. We're like in opposite poles right now.
Right, exactly. Because I have my little heater running and I've got on, long sleeve clothing. And for the first time in, gosh, forever, I actually have socks on because I'm not a socks person.
No,
But today I
no,
decided to put some socks on. So
no, that's a violation for me. See, right there, that's it. Nope,
yeah,
I can't. Nope, nope, nope.
I usually don't have any socks. It could be freezing outside, and I would go outside in the morning anyway and just ground myself for at least 5 minutes, and then I'd rush back in and to kind of warm up. But right now it is cold, so I have my socks on. Anyway, so today let's jump to tea.
We're talking tea
We
under
showed
the
you
full
our gorgeous.
moon.
We showed you our gorgeous cups. That's right.
We
Thank you.
we're talking tea under the full moon. Let's not ignore that. We have this
That's
beautiful
and I
session
and
under this beautiful water moon.
And I'm going to tell you what I did last night with this tea and a few other things under the full moon. All right, so the tea we're going to be talking about today is chai. And a lot of people, when they refer to chai, they usually say chai tea, but chai actually means tea. So when you're saying chai tea, you're saying tea tea. Okay, so we're just going to make it simple. We're talking chai today, and the ingredients. I don't know how many of you brought your cup of tea. If you brought a cup of tea with you, pop it in the chat. Let me go to the chat anyway. There's Lori says hi. Cecilia says hi. Anna, hi.
Yeah, Lori. Lori, I knew you'd
Kathleen.
love that. Lori, I knew
Kathleen is
Lori
here.
would love belly dancing. We did belly dance. And it's funny that you say that because today I was invited by another sister to a belly dancing activity on the beach. And I was like, I'm going. So I'm glad you said that. I'm like, wow, look at the synchronicities right now.
Yes, got to go. Got to go. In this particular chai that I'm drinking, there's clove, cardamom, black peppercorns, fennel, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and anise. And I know that not too many people. I know MJ, you did when I spoke to you last week. You said you didn't really have a great relationship with chai, but you were willing to
Right.
work with it.
Right.
And
I haven't.
initially
I
I
didn't
didn't
drink it.
either. And I think the reason was that anise. So why don't we start there?
Actually, I love anise. We call it anise here, and I love anise. Actually, my grandmother would make me anise tea when I didn't feel good, and it is the most amazing thing. So for me, the anise tea, that just the smell of it reminds me of my mama. So every time I make it, right there, it's so I don't think it's that one because that one reminds me of her. Like every time I smell it, she's here in the room with me. So
Hey, see, for me, the anise or anise, as MJ says, um, that was hard for me because it smelled almost like medicine, like walking into a hospital. Um, that's what it reminded me of. So it was hard for me to actually connect with that particular spice when I first started to drink chai because I wanted to have a very powerful chai blend. And this was it for me, right? And you're going to hear with all of the descriptions I give you why this is such a powerful tea and why this shouldn't be a tea for just when it gets cold. It should be an all year round, especially with what's
this
going
one is
on
the
in the
most
world today.
magical. This tea,
This you're
this
going to
tea,
see
I would
this.
say is up there.
Yes.
This is one of the magic ones that I would
Yes.
say should be your number one go-to for magic is this tea right here. Absolutely.
Yes. So then I'm going to start with anise. So there's like some people say it's almost like a licorice flavor. Um, not for me because I love licorice and yes, it doesn't remind me of licorice. Some people it does. For me, it's very medicinal. Like I said, it reminds me of a hospital, just the scent of it. But it has some very, very powerful benefits. It's antifungal, it's antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It helps to regulate your blood sugar, and it is one of those herbs that if you are depressed or just feeling down, just a little bit of anise tea can help to kind of boost your mood. So it's really good for that. Um, and it is one of the ingredients in here. So I've learned over the years to kind of I've developed. I've learned to fall in love with anise, and I'm going to say anise just to make it easier. Yeah, I've learned to fall in love with it, and this has now become one of my favorite teas because initially I did not really care for chai, but I have learned over the years, especially having gone through my healing journey with lupus, that this was very, very good for my immune system, and you'll learn why it can be good for yours too.
Okay.
All right, so Anise, give me your spiritual take on.
So anise is an element, it's an air water element, okay? It's associated with the planets Mercury and Jupiter. So that's kind of that watery energy. That's about abundance, okay? It's a third eye, crown chakra, stone energy kind of flowing through there. And this is magic in a cup. This is lucky. This is spiritual. This is clairvoyance. You're using this stone to activate your magical abilities. Your clair gifts are activated with this just one tea. So if you just want to activate yourself, drink some star anise by itself. All right. But then when you add it to, you can add stuff to it. Imagine how magical it is. So just this one ingredient, you're working clairvoyance, you're working with your third eye, you're opening yourself up. So for me, the crystal that resonates with me for this stone is tanzanite.
Ah,
Tanzanite is that spiritual awareness,
mhm,
meditation, manifesting. This is prosperity. It's the same thing as anise. It gives you the same properties. So, and it, since it's a watery stone, it's air watery. It has that
mhm,
air watery element on there. So for me,
mhm.
tanzanite is the perfect stone to collaborate with an anise. So that's my pick for anise.
Yeah, I have actually heard about the anise and its connection with the third eye. I've never really explored that, but now that you mention it, thank you. All right, so the next ingredient is clove, and I don't believe we spoke about clove last week. But most people, when you think of clove, actually, I think we did. I mentioned that clove was in my tooth powder, and prior to there being, these grand inventions with dental work, where now you get an anesthesia shot and numbs everything, and they can do their whatever it is they need to do in your mouth. Well, prior to all of that invention, most people had to rely on clove. You crush the clove up, you kind of pack it, create just like a little powder, and you just kind of pack it into that tooth where you might be having the issue, where there might be some
Mhm.
pain. Or if you use some clove essential oil, same way, you just take one tiny drop and put into that area. Pain goes away instantly. It numbs everything. If you overuse clove in your mouth, you are going to find yourself drooling because your entire mouth is going to be numb, your tongue is going to be numb, you won't be able to say anything, and just the saliva will just ask me how I know.
But also, can you add on that? If you add a drop on your tongue, it's really good for bad breath. So, or if you chew on a clove, I literally have cloves in my car. So when I'm feeling out of breath or I gotta go speak up close in front now with mask and everything, even for yourself, I've learned
Mhm.
that with the mask, and you're like, damn, my breath, what the hell? Toothpaste is not working. I'm like, what? So I always carry cloves. You could buy them and you clip them and I just chew on them. Don't eat them, just chew on them and then get rid of them. And they're helping your breath as well. And they're helping your teeth. So if anything's with your teeth, they do. I use it. I use clove oil all the time. I believe in it.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the things I like to do is take a drop, just a drop of the clove essential oil, and mix it with some coconut oil when I'm doing my oil pulling. So that's a routine I do every single morning. So that actually helps to freshen my breath in addition to, healing my gums, helping my teeth, all of that stuff. So clove is one of the ingredients in this particular chai blend. Another ingredient is cardamom. And if you have ever gone to an Indian festival and you've had their mango lassi, which is like my favorite thing, mango lassi always has cardamom in it. You cannot have, oh, we didn't do the,
The spiritual, but that's okay. I
yes,
start right
no,
when you
no,
get
go
there.
ahead.
So
Let's do the clove.
yeah,
Um,
for clove, the element is fire. It's a fire stone. It's a fire. It's all
mhm,
about fire. The zodiac sign is Aries. So it's an Aries sign. So clove medicine is good not only for that, but the spiritual properties. It helps stop gossip. It stops that energy of people talking about you and bringing out that bad energy your way. It's a protective and herb. It brings in wealth and friendship. All right. Clove stops all that and it boosts your confidence. So when people are talking about you, it doesn't really matter because you know who you are. And that's the important thing of clove. For me, clove, since it's so protective in that way, I got out the black tourmaline. So for me, my pick
mhm.
for clove is black tourmaline because it's protection, it's stopping, it's putting up a wall. I don't care. I'm too confident in myself to hear your gossip. That's what clove tells me. Mm.
I love, and this is something I told MJ last week when we chatted after the live. I said, I love the fact that she's tying in the crystal components with the particular ingredients because I'd never thought to do that, but I had to tell her. So I love that. I love that. It elevates it a little bit, elevates it
It
a
does.
little bit. Okay, so cardamom. Like I was saying, cardamom is one of the key ingredients in mango lassis, and you cannot have a mango lassi at any Indian festival without having there's just an unusual flavor in there, and that is most likely coming from cardamom. Cardamom is loaded with antioxidants, and I think that's why it goes in. It's the mango lassi is typically around summertime. We tend to have a lot of the Indian festivals here, like from April um, leading up to the summertime. So I think that's why the cardamom is in there. There might be other reasons as well. And I'm sure there are other herbs that are put in there, but cardamom, our bodies are constantly being bombarded, right? So the cardamom and all of the antioxidants that it provides helps your body in that way. Plus, it just gives it, I don't know if you've ever had cardamom, the flavor, there's just something to the flavor and the aroma of cardamom that is like no other. And when you add it to, I like to add cardamom to all kinds of different things that you normally would not. It's the same thing with cinnamon. Last week, one of the things I wanted to mention was I put cinnamon in my chili and in my spaghetti sauce.
Wow,
Not something,
amazing.
not something typically, but it just
No,
adds a whole other element of
tell
flavor.
me about that. No, tell me, stop. I want to know what does it taste
So,
like? I need to know now. I'm curious.
well, what you I it's hard to explain the taste. You have to actually do it in
Okay,
order to understand what happens. Because someone else asked me, well, what does it do? And it was really hard to explain it and until they made it. They made a batch
okay.
of chili and a batch of spaghetti sauce and added just a dash of cinnamon, the cinnamon powder. And they're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this before? Because you
Sounds
didn't know it
amazing.
before. But it
Yeah.
but it just elevates it that much more. So I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for MJ to come back on because I think she got kicked off somehow. Okay, bringing you back on, MJ. Add to stream. Here we go.
I'm sorry, I don't know why. Mercury retrograde has been messing with me for days now. 4 day, every day I've been hitting Mercury has been like, blah your technology, blah your technology. So sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. Anna says she uses cardamom in her coffee, and it's true. I know that there is I think there's a Turkish coffee that does have cardamom in it, but
Ooh.
try adding cardamom to your coffee like Anna suggests and see if that just elevates your coffee just a little bit more. All right,
Okay.
so cardamom and its crystal component and spiritual.
Okay, so here we go. Cardamom is a female energy. I want you to know it's a water element. It's ruled by Venus and Mars. Okay, it is that strong, bold place. It's the solar plex energy. We're talking about clarity. We're talking about courage. We're talking about aphrodisiac. I have a little history right here for you. Did you know that Cleopatra lined her walls with cardamom when Mark would come in because she wanted to give him that sense of we're getting it on. Yes, woo, let's get it on. When I read that, I was like, oh my God, that little slut, how dare she? I love it.
Yeah.
The
But
smell is amazing.
yes. And since we're on the whole Cleopatra thing, another thing she did was she would um, completely fill the sails of her ship with jasmine oil so
Mm-hmm.
that whenever she was entering a port, the whoever was at the port or that city would smell her and her ships before she even arrived.
Yeah.
So she knew how to use scents.
Yeah, we're going
She
down.
really
They're
did.
talking Cleopatra
Mhm,
using cardamom. So,
mhm,
and look at all, she used it for an aphrodisiac. She used
mhm,
it to the allure in because she felt it. And like I said back in the day,
mhm,
remember we talked about this in episode 1. Herbs and spices were worth more than gold. They were
mhm.
everything back in the day. All right. Now they're not. I mean, she used
Sure.
malachite. She used crushed malachite as eyeshadow. Her
Mhm,
beautiful eyeshadow was lapis and malachite crushed down so she can look amazing. So imagine
mhm,
that's what she used to get to that point, and the herbs. So
mhm. Not only that, just imagine the energy just from having all of those crushed crystals, the powdered crystals on your carrying on your body. Yes,
Oh no,
yes.
it's just super amazing. So for me, cardamom is one of those. When I read that, I was like, "Oh my god!" And she uses it in incense. So why don't you get some cardamom and burn some on some, and just smell it. See what it smells like. That's the most important. Put it in some water and just let it simmer.
Mhm,
Add it just and see how what it feel it, what you sense, what you feel, what
mhm.
you touch. That's what you do with every spice. That's how, and you're working your clair gifts too, because everyone has clairs and everyone has abilities. There's no one that doesn't. You want to sense what the tea does to you. Sense each ingredients. Boil it separate and just see what it smells like and it feels like. Taste the water. You're gonna be like, wow, why didn't I do this before? Mm.
Yes, because the thing we want you to do is to connect with whatever herbs and spices that you're working with. Most people they just grab a tea bag and they drop it in and they pour some hot water in and they sit and they sip, right? But when you know what all of these herbs do, what all of these spices can do, when you really start to think intentionally about what you're putting in your cup, it takes your cup of tea or your cup of coffee to a whole other level. I spoke one time on ways to elevate your cup of coffee, all of the different spices that you can add in, and people were just kind of blown away. They thought, well, coffee is just coffee. No,
Mm.
no, it's not.
You don't need those liquid flavors, that artificial stuff that they sell you in Starbucks or whatever. That's liquid sugar.
Yeah.
Get some spices, and it's real. It's a little
Mhm.
sprinkle, and there you go. And it's magic. Like I said, magic in a cup. And your cinnamon, just a little dash of cinnamon, a little dash of what, and you change your whole style. It's going to
Yeah,
make your day. When's the last time that you tried something new? Come on, man. Let's go.
yeah. So the next ingredient is black peppercorns. I mean, it's just peppercorns are just the solid form of black pepper that you find ground up on your table, right? So black peppercorns are anti-inflammatory. They're great for digestion, and they help certain nutrients to get absorbed better into your system. One of those is actually curcumin, which comes from um, turmeric. So whenever you're working with turmeric, you always want to add in a little bit of black pepper and a little bit of fat in some form. And the black pepper helps the turmeric to be absorbed better into your system. So that is one of the benefits of black pepper. In addition to that, it adds
So
a little bit of a kick.
hold on a second, Gina, but let us know, how do we do that, love? How do we add, say we have the cumin or the turmeric, how do we add the pepper and how much is enough?
Okay, with black pepper, I mean, you literally only need a sprinkle, a pinch. Take your fingers,
Okay.
pinch a little
Hmm.
bit, sprinkle it in. Right, the
Okay.
black pepper acts as a catalyst for the curcumin, and the
Okay.
fat. You always want to work with fat when you're taking turmeric in any form. So you add a little bit of fat. Either coconut oil, olive oil, or some coconut milk or whatever kind of milk you want to add in. As long as it's a type of fat, because the black pepper and the fat help the curcumin from the turmeric to get absorbed into your body. Turmeric on
Very
its
good to know.
own is powerful, but it needs help in order to be absorbed and for your body to utilize it properly. So
So
you
say
always
you were taking those pills that you take, how do you add the black pepper to those, the pills that you showed us in episode 1? How do you add the black pepper to that when you, or do you do something different?
Oh, the black pepper is already in there. So when I
Okay.
take it, the black pepper is already in. So
See,
it's
look at that.
actually
Amazing.
the one I have is FTGC, which is frankincense, turmeric, and ginger, and cayenne pepper. So the black pepper or cayenne pepper, either one, um, helps with the absorption.
That's beautiful. See, and I think we needed to know that. That was that missing link. And for, I wanted to say for cardamom, I wanted to go back, and I was funny with two stones. I kind of got the, because of it, the carnelian, but I've had the other one, so I was thinking sunstone. So I'm on the balance. I'm going to say for cardamom, I'm going to stick with carnelian because it's that boldness. It's that, even though it's a water sign, it's got that bold flavor. So it gives it that and then it's like wow when you smell it. And then for black pepper, That's fire. For me, that's Mars. That's aggression. That's banishing magic. Remember, black pepper is banishing. Anything is black, it's protection. It's pushing away. It's getting out of here. Anything black. So for me, that would be obsidian. So for me, black pepper is obsidian. All right, right here, you see a piece of obsidian. That's my obsidian heart. That's black pepper for me. Remember, black is banishing. I'm taking it away.
Mhm. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next ingredient, which is fennel. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with fennel. This is another one that took me a while to actually like, because I didn't like fennel as I was growing up. Now, fennel, the actual bulb, I chop it up and I juice it in a lot of my juice blends that I make. So I absolutely love fennel now. But the fennel seeds are also in this particular chai blend. And they're really good for digestion, actually help to promote healthy digestion in your system. And they're also very calming. I know if you've ever opened a bag of fennel seeds and just kind of inhaled, they really do calm you down. So if you're in a stressed, kind of a stress feeling, have a little bit of fennel tea. It'll kind of soothe your stomach, but at the same time also help to relieve some of that stress that you might be feeling at the same time. And fennel, I know a lot of naturopathic doctors, I'm going to say it that way, tend to quote unquote prescribe fennel or fennel tea for people who are highly stressed, because it does help to kind of, reduce that tension or that stress that you might be feeling. So fennel is in here. And you'll
Okay.
notice that a lot of these ingredients that I'm calling out help with digestion, right? Which is all with your stomach, your intestines, and they say that 70 to 80% of your immune system resides in your gut. So if this is healing your gut, chances are it's healing your immune system, right?
Right.
So you're going to see this is a very powerful blend for your immune system. And that's why I suggest drinking chai all year long, not just when it gets cold in the wintertime. So
And
fennel.
fennel is really good. Also, I want you to know, when you have a stomach issue, what is it that you're not letting go of? Because when it comes to stomach issues in your life, it means you're holding on to something. So if you're having heartburn and my stomach, or I can't go to the bathroom, because you're not letting go of a situation, something,
Mhm.
look at the emotional. What's happening to you emotionally in your life right now? That
Mhm.
is why your stomach is the way it is. That is why you're having those stomach issues. That's why you can't go to the bathroom. So I want you to look at that. Don't always say, well, medically, the doctor says I got IBS. Okay. But what are you emotionally going through? Because we swallow so much emotional poison in a day, and it really does create disease in the body. So when you
Mhm.
look at it, I tell people like this: we need to look at it. Look at what the problem is. Let's really look. And I know you hate looking at it, but let's get in there, pull out the thorn. Once you do that, your body's literally going to thank you for it. So I want you to take a moment, even with all these beautiful medicinal medicines that we're sharing with you. It's all about the mind too. You got to focus.
Yeah.
Hey, what's wrong with me emotionally? What's happening right now that I feel this way? And that's the bottom line of all that. But back onto funnel. Funnel is a male feminine. It's got that both. It's the yin yang energy. Okay. So it's air and fire. It could blow you away or it could burn you down. The planet is
Mhm.
Mercury. Mercury, once again, is very commanding. It's confidence, it's courage, fertility. It repels bad spirits. Back in the days, funnel was hung on the doors of your dwellings so that bad energy or ghosts wouldn't come in. So they would have them right there on the doors. Funnel is also very good for weight loss. Funnel tea to reduce weight is excellent. So those are the things. And for me, funnel tea is like pyrite. This is my pyrite angel. And that's what I consider. It's the go-getter. Be confident. I'm strong, but back up because I'm protected. There's nothing you can do for me that's not gonna, that I'm strong. And it's heavy. This is very heavy crystal, so it's got that, yeah, Mercury. I'm standing strong. That's what it is for me. So this is pyrite, and that's what my pick for funnel is.
Thanks, MJ. Let me go back to the chat. I know we have a few people that just joined. We have Jamie, and it says sifting some soil, 55. Martha says she's gonna have to leave because she's visiting with her grandbaby. So
Thank
she's
you
going to
for
be in her
coming,
home.
Martha. Hola,
Thank you
Jamie.
for
How are
coming,
you,
Martha.
Mama?
All right, so I want to go back to something you mentioned, MJ, about, the gut and the the mind. A lot of people don't realize that there's a connection between the gut and the brain. If you're feeling really foggy, really depressed, start to examine what you're eating, because chances are there's something that you're ingesting that is causing the cloudiness that you're experiencing in the brain. And it's a little deeper than that, but there is a brain gut connection that a lot of people don't really make until you get older, like me, and you realize, oh my gosh, or you study this stuff and you realize that there is that connection. But really start to look at what you're eating, because there is a saying, when you heal the gut, you heal the entire body, because so much of your immune system is in your gut area. And what you put into your body, whether you put it into your mouth or whether you put it on your skin or you put it into your mind, all of that affects your body overall. So that goes
Absolutely.
back to what you're watching on TV, all of that stuff, the kind of books that you're reading, the news that you're watching,
The
the
people
food
that you're with, if someone's
exactly.
negative around you, you're going to feel that. If someone's all negative all day for you, you're going to go home feeling like crap, like way down. And that energy, remember your aura, you have auras. This is a field around you. And as you go out, you start your day, you go out and things start getting stuck. You suck. You're horrible. Someone looking, oh, jealous. Look at you looking in that dress. You think you look good. And that's just people without even speaking. Speaking. This is thoughts. Just look at her thinking she all that. Look at her trying to do a program. Look at her. You get all that all day. You get bombarded with all this energy of people's like, why not me? Why her? Why this? And when you go home, how do you clean your energy? How do you get rid of that? How do you get out? And then sometimes somebody says something to you and you literally swallow the poison. You're not good enough. You're ugly. You're fat. You don't belong. You don't deserve. And where do you store that? Right there in your gut. And it sits there. And then why am I? And you start believing it and it festers. And that's what we want you to know. Teas are medicinal as well. We went down this rabbit hole with you. I believe it. As a past life regressionist, I always ask the person, what side of the body? You have the female side and you have the male side. Okay. The female side is past life. The male side is present life. What's happening in your body? Is the left side aching? That means something from your past life. It needs addressed. What are you
Right.
what are you ignoring? If it's something on the right side, it's in this current life. Right now, your lifetime, something is affecting you. What are you ignoring? All right. So your body speaks. You have to listen. I believe that wholeheartedly. There's books out there. There's great books on there. But I totally believe in and doing the teas and listening to you. What does my body need? Okay, my body needs me to go back in the room and stop. I need to go lay down. I need to get out of this situation. Oh, and I want to say something. I know I went on a tangent. It's okay to walk away. If you're in a situation and your stomach starts to hurt and your body starts giving you signals, excuse me is the powerful word. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Excuse me and get away from it. You need to back up. Your body's telling you to back up. Start listening to the signs in your body, and your body's going to be, it's like a magnet. For me, my body, I start ringing in my ears. My ears go off. They get on fire when I'm not supposed to be in a situation. So I've learned that. So learn to trust the signals of your body, and then with the same aspect of using teas to heal those signals, because when they have natural elements in them, they're going to work better. So natural teas, don't use that sugar product. Use cinnamon. How great is that? All right. Those are the things that are important. So yeah, when talking
Yeah.
about stomach issues, there's a whole, we could go down this rabbit hole. Oh my God, it's so fun.
Exactly. That's a whole other, like, 2, 3, 4 hour discussion that we have right there, right? So, um, but yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, when you, for example, the butterflies in your stomach, right? That's a sign. That's a sign from your body that it either likes something that's happening, or if somebody says something to you and you get that kind of angst in your gut, like not a good feeling, that's your body speaking to you, because like MJ said, your body keeps the score. That's a,
Mm-hmm.
a book I mentioned before. It holds on to stuff from last week, last year, 10 years ago. And I'd be honest here. I didn't used to believe in past life regression. No, I didn't used to believe in past lives until I really looked at this and I said, well, I'm from my mother. I have stuff from my mother in me. I have stuff from her mother, which passed down to her, which passed down to me, and so forth and so forth. And I realized, oh, yes, I do have many, many past lives in me. And it was when I started to look at things like that and started to heal from stuff that I was experiencing that I knew were connected to my mother or to my grandmother or to, whoever, or, on the father's side as well. That's when real healing started to take place. Because we have to
Absolutely.
realize that a lot of the trauma that we are holding on to that is causing illness in our body, it doesn't belong to us.
Nope.
It's might have been there from a mother, from the grandmother or whoever, but we are experiencing dis-ease, which can grow into full-blown disease if we don't heal from it. And
Yep. Can't
the first
ignore it.
place it tends to attack is there in your gut.
Yep.
That's where your immune system is. Your immune system goes out of whack. All of a sudden, they say, then you get sick, but it's not all of a sudden. And that again is for a whole other discussion.
But such a
Yes,
great topic in itself. It's such a great topic. Oh,
yes.
I could talk about this one.
So, Jamie, Jamie says, yes, pain wants to be in dialogue with you. Yes, and if we listen to pain and really start to learn from it, you know, we won't end up in all of these situations as far as illness is concerned, because pain is a messenger. But
Right.
too often, doctors will just give you, oh, here, take this 800 milligram ibuprofen, and if the pain doesn't go away, come back, I'll give you something stronger. But no, if the pain is there, it's there to tell you something. It's there to give you a message, and you have to listen to your body because there's something that your
Absolutely.
body is trying to tell you. Don't cover up the pain because then you're
No.
not going to learn what's going on.
And then hear the word pain. I want you to take a moment before you pain, pain, pain. Do you see how you're scrunching? Even
Mhm.
you, when you say pain, your face shrinks down. Look what you're
Mhm.
saying. You, by saying it, you're bringing it in. I don't use,
Mhm.
and this I learned from Dolores Cannon. If you read her books, she's
Yeah.
notorious about saying the word pain doesn't exist. It's your spirit says it's discomfort in the body. So when I
Mhm.
talk to people, I ask them, where is the discomfort in your body? Because when you say pain, you are using it's like quartz, you're amplifying the pain. But when you
Mhm.
say discomfort, there's a discomfort in my body that I need to address. You see how that sounded? Or
Yes.
this pain in my body has me, and I'm being exaggerated, but I want you to know,
Mhm.
change the words.
Mhm.
I believe in, oh, my motto is you got to talk yourself up. So even when you talk about pain, talk about it as discomfort. It's even, look how it flows better. It's more compassionate with yourself. You got to compare, because when you get angry with yourself, when you have a lot of discomfort, what do you get? Madder and madder, and you're just like, oh, I'm so mad, my body won't stop, and what's wrong with me? You're not giving your body the time to do what it needs to heal. So
Mhm.
the pain is going to get worse. But when
Mhm.
discomfort sets in, I look at it, I acknowledge, what do you need? You need me to back away? You need me to go lay down? You need me to stop eating this? This was crap. I should never do this again. I got you. I understand. You're going to give me a stomach ache to prove my lesson, that I have to learn a lesson? I accept it. Thank you. I will go home and cry now, but
Mhm.
I acknowledge it in all sense of the way, and it's okay to cry. Cries, tears flush out what you no longer need. It's energy releasing from the body. I'm a believer of that. So cry it out. I went through a year of major surgery, back surgery, and a lot. I couldn't take heavy medications. So the majority of my time I spent crying, and it flushed it away. So it's
Mhm.
okay to cry. I want you to know that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So the next ingredient, and I've been making notes on other topics that we could discuss on here because otherwise we'd be here for hours. Last week we spoke about cinnamon. So I'm not going to go into too much detail right now because it is in the previous video. But
420,
cinnamon,
got you.
the main ingredient, the main benefit, it does help to regulate your blood sugar. So I do say this again: if you are taking any kind of medication for diabetes or anything that's going to that you're working on to regulate your blood sugar, always be aware that cinnamon is a natural blood sugar regulator. So just be careful when you're utilizing cinnamon in addition to the other one, and always check with your doctor first to make sure before you jump into any kind of herbal therapy. Okay, so I have to plug that
And
in there.
cinnamon is the last one. Cinnamon is our last one, right? Is our last ingredient here.
There's ginger and there's nutmeg.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So cinnamon for me is a fire. It's fire energy. That's fire. It is the sun. We're talking about sun. It's purpose. Okay. Cinnamon is an all-purpose herb. It works with everything. There is no magic that you can't do that you can't add cinnamon to. Know. It's for finances. It's for prosperity. It's for success. It's for manifestation. It is for protection. It is an all-around multi-purpose stone. And for me, I am considering cinnamon sunstone. Sunstone for me is a very overall powerful courage putting into play. So for me, it is sunstone.
So I wanted to show you something as we're talking about cinnamon. This is a little broom that I keep hanging in my window, and it smells like cinnamon. It is embedded with cinnamon essential oil.
It's a
And
besom.
when the sun hits it, oh my gosh, let's just say it's amazing.
And
So I
that's a
keep that.
besom broom. It's a witch's broom, and it's for per se a witch's broom, and it's for prosperity. So when you add cinnamon to it and you put it over your doorknob, you can have one for prosperity. You can have one for healing. So it's very good medicine, and it's nothing to be scared about. Let's turn that terminology, witch, all that. It's all
Right.
spiritual. It's all herbs. It's all healing. Let's get back to what we used to do, and witch. I don't know. That word is just like it's heavy. It weighs heavy for me because why? Because we play with herbs, because we like to dig in the ground and we plant flowers and we use those herbs to heal. I'm I'm whatever you want me to be with that. And I don't really care. You can use the word witch or not, but it's a witch's broom and it's really good and it has
Yeah.
a lot of purposes. So absolutely. All right, let's go because I know we have a couple more and then we're running out of time here.
So, ginger, again, we spoke about last week with it being anti-inflammatory, helps with your digestive system, building immunity, very warming to your body. So this is ginger tea is a really good one to be drinking whenever it gets really cold because it warms up your body. And I know this is one we spoke about last week as well, so we won't dwell on that one.
Right. Right, and
Right.
that was good for the stomach and all that. We just said that was going to be citrine, so I was good with that one from last week. All right,
Yeah.
what else do you have?
All right, nutmeg. Nutmeg is the last one. So nutmeg
Okay,
is really good for indigestion if you have any kind of issues with the stomach. Again, there's that what you call it, the digestive system connection, right? And it's also really good for regulating the blood sugar, and again, also very warming to your body, very, very warming. So if you notice the trend among all of these, that they're going to be really good for the digestive system, which in turn is where most of your immune system resides. So it's going to be helping your body overall. So nutmeg, what's your crystal connection?
nutmeg. Nut is masculine energy. Once again, we're talking fire and air. Seriously, it's the planet Jupiter here. So we're talking this helps. It's like an activator. It boosts the energy. It's success. It attracts wealth in. This is what you use to call in your lover. You're like, hey, lover, Aki, you come over here with that nutmeg. They're from the evergreen tree. So imagine that. That's evergreen. That's that Barbara Streisand song, Evergreen, the love of that. That is what this is. Now, this stone for me, once again, would be a citrine because of all the benefits, the success, and the power of that tea. And then overall, for me, and I'm going to come back, overall, for this tea talk of chai tea, chai is spiced tea. We're going to go spiced tea because I've seen it's spiced tea. For me, a crystal that represents this tea, and I'm going to introduce you to my favorite person in the world, is Frank. Hello, Frank. Frank is sunstone. Frank is sexy. Look how strong he is. He shows
Mm-hmm.
you I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm confident, I'm protected. I'm going to hold my own. I have the wisdom. I remember things. Okay. I'm not going to let you down. And then for Frank, I want to know he's got that special little bonus because that little cardamom, don't forget the aphrodisiac. Frank is
Mm-hmm.
hung. Frank is hung high. He's showing you I'm sexy and I know it. And that's sunstone. For me, chai is that sexy, strong. I'm positive, I'm confident, but I'm protected and I know who I am. All right. And I want you guys to know, as you did you for you guys that bake, didn't these ingredients sound familiar to you? I mean, I started tasting
Mm-hmm.
it. I love pumpkin pie. And all these ingredients are in pumpkin pie, guys. So,
Exactly.
hello.
And that's one of the things I wanted to share with you is I have this right here, which is the pumpkin pie in, spice list. So there's cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, cloves. It's the same thing that you find in pumpkin pie spice blend, which, you know, whenever Thanksgiving comes around and everybody gets all hyped about the pumpkin spice this and pumpkin spice that, I'm like, I've been using pumpkin spice all year. That never leaves my spice cabinet. And that's something that everyone should be using or working with all the time, because it's not just for Thanksgiving or not just for the fall. It's all year long, because the blend is so good for the immune system, right? And I want to can work with the if you look online, there's so many chai recipes out there that you can just create your own. Try to make chai honey. So you're basically
Ooh,
going to create the herbal blend in powder, and then you're going to get that's going to be maybe a quarter of a cup, and then you're going to get the honey, about 2 cups of honey, and mix that all together.
wow.
And really, really easy. Whenever you want to have a cup of chai, you just scoop up a tablespoon, put it into a cup, add your hot water, you're good to go.
That
Or
sounds
you can
amazing.
just scoop up a tablespoon and you just sit there and eat it.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I would just be eating it out of the pot, out of the out of the
Whatever
jar.
you want
No,
to do.
stop it.
But I wanted to talk about what I did last night with my chai, okay? Last night was full moon and we did cacao ceremony. Of course, at the end, I had a little bit of the cacao left, right? So I added it to, gosh, I wanted to bring I have these little peppermint cups, solid peppermint, really thick. So I added the cacao into that. So as it heated up the peppermint, it kind of mixed in with the cacao. Then I added a little bit of boot chew. I had some
Ooh,
fun,
wow.
and
Oh,
then I added it to my chai. Hello.
oh my
So
God.
just play around with your chai and add different things to it. So if you happen to have cacao, you can, add a little bit of cacao powder or one of the little pellets to your chai. Make it your own, because there's so many recipes out there with for chai. But the beauty of this is you can make your own blend. Yes, Jamie, exactly. Kitchen magic. That's exactly
Uh,
what you're doing,
hello. There we
right?
doing.
So just find a blend and play around with it and add your own, right?
Absolutely.
So the cacao with the peppermint and the buchu mixed with the oh,
It
all right.
sounds
So
amazing. Oh my God.
it was amazing.
Oh, all right. So for
Um,
this
uh,
amazing glass,
Jamie says, "Nice. I'm glad I joined this tea talk. Thank you, ladies.
thank you
Yeah,
for
you
joining
guys.
me, Mama. I appreciate your support. You know, I appreciate everyone that comes and supports someone that's trying to do something with themselves. And you know what? Two powerful women here that's just trying to share our wealth with you. There's something you may learn from this. So we thank you with our hearts. I'm going to leave you with a card before I go for this amazing tea talk that we had. And I'm pulling from Frida because I'm feeling that Frida inspiration today. You
I
know, and
love
it's
Frida.
just the product cards that we get. So today's message from Frida is your heart says, enjoy your unique beauty and adore yourself with love. So, can you adore yourself because you're badass and I
And
love you?
guess what? That is what this full moon is all about: loving yourself. So,
Absolutely. So, love yourself fully and let go. We're in a winding season of the moon. The phase of the moon is releasing. So, what are you let going of? Because you got to love yourself. to love
Exactly.
yourself. Let go of that doubt. Let go of that doubt. Oh, I don't look good. I'm fat. I'm no, you beautiful exactly the way you are. I'm in my crone age now. I don't have time for that. I'm gonna love me exactly the way I am, okay? And the right people will love you. So remember that, okay? I'm
Exactly.
MJ, and I'm coming up with my slogan. So this is my first guy. So let me know what you think of this is going to be, may every zip be magic. You have a great evening. I'm MJ. You
And
have a good
I'm
night.
Gina, and we will see you again next week with another episode of Tea Talk with Gina and MJ.
Take care. Bye, guys.